So what happens in a typical scenario in the organization that you have a reporting requirement? They have to rely on the technical people, which involves some turnaround time. Over the month, it combines to be like few hours or a few days, depending on the size of the organization. So lazy admin solves that problem to bring that time down to seconds. So the idea is to save cost by saving these staff hours and generate charts out of it within next 5 seconds. And it can also be trained on your particular business lingo, because every business has some particular business terminologies that GPT doesn't understand, lazy admin doesn't understand, but we can train lazy admin to understand your business language. Does it send the data out of Salesforce org or not? So it's no. We don't send any data out of your Salesforce org. It stays in your Salesforce org. List of open cases with status and related accounts. And
So wait, so you're using natural language there. You're just
yeah.
Oh, and what is that? You've got results already, right?
Yeah. If you want to add some additional fields on the case, for example, subject or any other fields, you can add multiple fields. You can add it right from here, from the field control if you're an admin. If you are technical, you can also edit the query directly, and then you can update that query. From here, you can do inline editing. Hang on. Yeah. So you tell it like slice by, count name, value, record count. There you go. It converts your tabular report to a group report on the fly. It also recognizes your custom objects by their singular and plural labels, and fields with their labels or API names, whatever you want to use. See, it brought it identified your custom objects and custom fields. That's why I said it's so grounded in your system. This is a group report.
I love how that was just so fast. Can I search in multiple languages or just English?
Yeah, you can search in multiple languages. For example, if you go Urdu or Hindi, say
drum roll.
So this is in Hindi, or you can say Urdu, but you can search in different languages.
Welcome to AI Force, your source for Salesforce AI news and insights. I'm Mark Good, and today we're taking a look at the newest capabilities for AI reporting inside your org. If you're streaming from X, YouTube, LinkedIn, or Spotify, then head over to aiforcetraining.com/live to get access to all of the Salesforce AI resources that we're going to talk about today. Go ahead and do that now. So I am more than excited to welcome today's expert, Mustafa Parek. Mustafa has been working with his team on AI solutions for running reports inside the org, inside Salesforce. And your jaw is going to drop when you see the demo that he has prepared for us today and how easy it is actually now to run reports. It hasn't been like this before. And with AI augmenting reports, now we can do it. So welcome, Mustafa. Thanks for joining. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you've been up to, and tell us what you're going to show us today.
Thanks, Mark, for inviting me. A bit of introduction about me. I'm Mustafa Parek and founder at HTT Peak. And I've been working in Salesforce space for last 10 years as a developer and architect. And together with my team, we have launched an app exchange product called Lazy Admin. And that's an AI-powered reporting tool for Salesforce that responds to human language. So what happens in a typical scenario in the organization that you have a reporting requirement, since reporting acts as a backbone for every decision making or any sales or service operation or any other kinds of operation. Reporting is a backbone, right? So in a typical environment, what happens, like organizations have to train their business users, which are the sales staff, operations staff, support agents, to pull the reports. They have to train them on Salesforce reports, or they have to rely on the technical people, which involves some turnaround time. So if this is a recurring activity again and again, think about the scenario it's happening again and again, and you have to rely on technical people, or you have to put the reports by yourself. Over the month, it combines to be like few hours or a few days, depending on the size of the organization, the reporting needs of different individuals. So lazy admin solves that problem to bring that time down to seconds. So the idea is to save cost by saving these staff hours and enabling anyone across the hierarchy, whether executive, manager, lead, or any business user, any non-technical or technical user, to pull reports within seconds and generate charts out of it within next 5 seconds. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
the thing. Yeah.
I can't tell you, I've been in Salesforce in the ecosystem for a long time. I remember back to the days when I was first learning reports. And I even remember back to the days when I was first having to teach others inside the organization how to run reports themselves. And no matter what, it seems like as an admin, you could never get away from running reports, building reports, and running reports. So I was thrilled when we first connected and started taking a look at what you guys have done. AI is certainly changing the way that reports can be done. And I agree with you, time savings. I've spent so much time on building reports in the past, and oftentimes it would be a quick one-off report that someone would request. And, it takes time to, even though it's point click, which is amazing, it takes time to go through and do that.
Yeah, and there are other cool features in that app. I will demonstrate in a bit, but the core idea is it's so grounded in your own Salesforce org. It understands your custom objects, standard objects, and custom fields and all that. And it can also be trained on your particular business lingo, because every business has some particular business terminologies that GPT doesn't understand, lazy admin doesn't understand, but we can train lazy admin to understand your business language if you have some terminology. So it can be trained for particular to the business. So that's a cool thing about it.
Yeah. Before you dive into the lazy admin and the speed with which it can actually execute, what are your thoughts on ChatGPT and skilling up using ChatGPT for admins and devs and capabilities? I think one of the things you're going to talk about, which we discussed, is SOQL, right? And AI can help you generate SOQL. For anybody who's paid attention at Trailhead DX, there was a lot of discussion around admins leaning in and potentially using more SOQL statements than they have before. So, yeah, give us your opinion on that and talk about skilling up and different skills that you can learn using ChatGPT in this area.
Yeah, you can, although you can do a lot with ChatGPT. When it comes to Salesforce world, mainly you can write an Apex code, you can generate circle, you can also ask some solutioning questions. For example, I have to implement a discount feature using price book. What are the best practices and what are the best ways to implement that? So it will also answer you the solutioning questions. In terms of generating the sockle and apex, the main challenge is it's not plug and play. It can be hooked up as it is by the business users, and you need some modifications in that, right? It doesn't generate what you are looking for, but you have to modify it. It saves your googling time, but still you have to modify things, right? And that's where the lazy admin comes. It becomes a bridge between the business users, what they are looking for, and lazy admin transforms it to a workable solution by doing some orchestrations in the prompt and giving some system context, and lots of things are happening on top of GPT, when it comes to lazy admin. So it's different in that sense. And then Open AI API, it basically manages the consumption in terms of tokens, input and output. So that's how it works.
Yeah, that's excellent. How long have you and the team been working on these solutions?
So for lazy admin, we have been working for last 10 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot has changed over the last 10 months, and a lot is still changing, especially within the Salesforce space. Reporting has been one of those things that hasn't really, Salesforce hasn't really taken a dive into figuring out or doing anything specific that they've presented that I've seen yet with AI and reporting. So, yeah, if you don't mind, would you share your screen and just sort of give us a demo, show us what's going on there, show us what we can do with AI
Y-
and reporting?
Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we got it.
Okay. So first thing first, the first question I have, like we get is basically, does it send the data out of Salesforce org or not? So it's no. We don't send any data out of your Salesforce org. It stays in your Salesforce org. So, um, for example, if you uh, type list of open cases, with status and related accounts. And
So wait, so you're using natural language there. You're just
yeah,
you oh, and what is that? You've got results already, right?
yeah. So in few seconds, like 2 3 seconds, list of open cases with status and related accounts. Now you have the case, you have the account name. Um, so I'll run you through each of the feature one by one. So if you click on any case, the beauty is you can do whatever you want at the back without losing focus on from the reports. So you can minimize it and you can keep navigating across Salesforce. Um, and again, open it up. And
So
if
what
you,
happens if you got oh sorry, yeah, so show us that first. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, if you want to add some additional fields on the case, for example, subject or any other fields, you can add multiple fields. You can add it right from here, from the field control if you are an admin. If you are technical, you can also edit the query directly, and then you can update that query. From here, you can do inline editing. Uh, See, if I do inline editing, so you can edit records right from here, save, and you can verify it without again losing your focus from the reports. Um, and You can mark this search as favorite as well. So next time you won't even have to type. If you type just case, and it will come in the autocomplete. So it will become your favorite search, and anybody can use it. So you won't even type. You won't even have to type it even next time.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, let's dive
your question.
let's dive into some of this because you are skating right past all these amazing features. So I really want to sort of walk through this. So first of all, you've got lazy admin open, you've got new search, and all you did was make a statement in the
Yeah.
search or sort of in the query box up top of what you want inside your report. Tell us a little bit, expand on that a little bit. What all can we ask for there? What should we say? How do we, there's this whole thing about prompting GPT and how you have to prompt it correctly. What do we need to know from a prompting standpoint here? What do we drop into that box?
Yeah, I'm coming to that as a next step. So for the first example is the list of open cases with status and related accounts. So you see, we can pull the related data from these standard objects, and we have the whole lot of searching tips article here. Few of these search phrases I will share as a part of this demo, but I'll like let me explain this one first. So what happens in Salesforce, if we have to generate charts, you have to convert your tabular report to a group or summarized report, or you have to have a group report. So first you prepare a group report, then you add chart to it, or prepare dashboard, or feed the report to that dashboard. Here it converts your tabular report, which is a table list of things. It converts the your tabular report to charts, to a group report on the fly. Hang on. Yeah. So you tell it like slice by, count name, value, record count. There you go. So like in 2 3 seconds you have your charts ready, and
That's brilliant.
it
Now
has.
that's something new, right? I mean, that the version that I've been testing didn't have this until recently.
Yeah, we just sent this release last night, and yeah, so it converts your tabular report to a group report on the fly without you converting the reports. You just have to give this information here, and it does not modify your original report. I'll just close it. And by the way, you can export the chart from here to share with the team. And as soon as you close it, you are back to your original report again. And this is not converted on the group report. So this is one cool thing about it. Um, and any questions about this particular example? Then I will jump
Well,
to the
no,
next one.
I think that's great. I mean, just having the search tips on the bottom left, so that's really nice to have just as a user, especially as an admin. If you're deploying this out for other users inside the org, having that as a quick link is perfect. So if they're not getting good results out of the query, then that's going to help get them. I wanted to ask about the fields. So you mentioned there were some certain standard fields that showed up when you did the query, but you can update the fields that show up, just click that button one more time. I want to see. So you can
Yep.
go to the actual object. So on the object, so this is the case. So you've got all the case fields listed, and you can just drag and drop and get whatever you want in the report. So it's much like the Salesforce report builder.
Yeah.
But the thing is here is it just seems so fast, especially once you've immediately generated the report initially with language, with natural language.
Yeah, the main idea is to keep things smooth for the end user and keeping it frictionless. So you can check multiple fields here, and then you can add as many fields as you want. If you think that the UI is a bit congested, you can go maximize and just have a full look of the report. Um, and you can also export that as like as download results as CSV. You don't need Workbench. Um, and you can share these results via email with your team. And yeah, and now let's jump to the custom objects part. It also recognizes your custom objects by their singular and plural labels, and fields with their labels or API names, whatever you want to use. So I have a custom objects called school in my org, and which has a student. Each school has a student count. So if I say list of list of schools with student count more than 500. See, so we have school, we have the um, sorry, it didn't bring the student count, but we can add it here.
Oh, it's a good demo. Yeah, I'm interested to see how it.
Yeah, yeah. So just to keep the UI minimal, so you can add like by default it brings some less columns, and you can add more if you want. So it brought it identified your custom object and custom field. That's why I said it's so grounded in your system, and without sending the data out, uh, uh, like it can do wonders. And one thing we recommend that not to put the PII data in your search phrase. But even if you do that, that's not a problem because it's all encrypted. It goes via secure channel HTTPS, so it's not a big problem. Yeah, so this was the second example where it can recognize your custom objects. And another example of a group report, like total opportunities amount this year by sorry, this year group by stage. So we have some opportunity records. So every stage it will show you like on which stage how much amount you have in what stage of opportunity. So if you convert that to the column chart and select the fields, so you can have a visual representation of how many like you have the this much amount of close one opportunity, this much amount of the prospecting qualification proposal. So you can um, also make charts on the group reports as well as the tabular reports. This is a group report, by the way.
I love how that was just so fast. I mean, just think about all the times users inside the organization are always asking for some, sort of piece of information like this. And if you haven't built a report for it, you go to build a report, and then you wonder if you need to save the report, and you wonder how much time you should spend on actually making the chart look nice, because you might get asked the same question again in the future and need to go pull it again. But there's this sweet spot between, or there's this space, I would say, between a report that you think you're going to run multiple times and you need to go back and revisit and format it, make it look great, versus just that quick hit, I'm looking for a quick answer. And I feel like this absolutely serves that space. And users being able to just hop in and just use your natural language. You're looking at a record and you think, oh, I want to see what other records are like this. And then you can pull up this tool and say, hey, show me all the records I have, this. And then you get the results immediately. And there's no, yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. So you don't you are working in Salesforce, and you never lose focus from your reports. You have it always in front of you, and see the grouping and filtering, and these things are very smooth and seamless. And if you notice one more thing, there is no report type involved here, so you don't have to go through report type and this and that because it's a circle back solution. um, One more thing, there might be certain things where Salesforce reports might have limitations. For example, different people in the organization prepare different reports, and you need to you're looking for some particular report. So there is no report in Salesforce which gives you report on reports. So you can do that in lazy admin. For example, list of reports uh, having the word, let's say, walkthrough. Sorry, walkthrough in the name. So the reports that have been titled as walkthrough, or for the particular word, you can fetch those reports and see who has created that, and you
That's
know
awesome.
you
So
can add
reporting
fold
on
name.
reports. Yeah.
Yeah, reporting on reports and similar things. We are also working on overcoming some governance limits as a next step, and we are open to suggestion from our Salesforce community that like what we can overcome, and we will try our best to roll it out in coming weeks. And there is a whole lot of searching tips and guiding how to prepare the prompt and how to search if somebody needs help. He or she can go and view, like see the searching tips examples, or can reach out to us for a particular problem, and we are always happy to help.
How
FAQs
much
and
time
such.
does it take to go from a person who's never used a lazy admin tool or the reporting? How much time does it take for me to digest the tips and get started?
I think it's a few hours, a few minutes, a few hours. It's not a very long time. The learning curve is not that much because it's human language, right? So you just have to understand, you just have to read the article, and you will get a sense of it, how to do that.
Speaking of language, in that search
Yeah.
box, can I search in multiple languages or just English?
Yeah, you can search in multiple languages. For example, if you go Urdu or Hindi, um, I haven't tested much in the other languages, but let's see. See,
Drum roll.
so this is in Hindi, or you can say Urdu, but you can search in different languages as well.
Yeah, I just love that. That's one of my number one favorite things about generative AI and its ability to translate across language seamlessly. I mean, you did a search in Hindi and you have all of your records as they're written. There was no need to like translate the actual records themselves, or it just leaves so much flexibility. Yeah, so I love that. I love that feature.
Yeah, and one more thing, as I mentioned earlier, we can also train this to understand the organization's business terminology. For example, if an organization has a business terminology of third party reseller TPR, something like that, TPR, and the TPR means that in some custom object or in an account there is a type pick list which has the reseller option selected, or maybe there is a checkbox that has the reseller option checked. Uh, it can be anything, right? So what what TPR means in organizations world, we can train lazy admin on that, so they can talk in their own business terminology with this solution. And like organizations can reach out to us, and we can make that happen to train it on their business terminologies as well. So it will understand your business lingo, and it acts like a human assistant for everyone across the hierarchy, where nobody needs anyone's help to fetch the reports.
Perfect. That's so great. Okay, so you've showed us the tool, you've showed us what you've done from a reporting perspective. You just recently released this sort of automatically switching between tabular and able now to get the charts automatically, which is really nice feature, by the way. What do we expect going forward from lazy admin? Where does this go from here?
So the future roadmap, in the near future, we are working on scheduled refreshes. If as you see, it's coming soon. So we are working on that to, so if user has to schedule something in terms of data or charts, they won't have to log into Salesforce, and they get it periodically. We are also working on some formula fields that's not currently not in lazy admin, but they can still work around that. But good, it's a nice to have feature. And the main thing we are working on is to overcome any governance limits that's in currently in Salesforce reports, and we are open to suggestion for that. So I'd like to hear more from the Salesforce community on how can we improve that.
Yeah, perfect. I think, and knowing what I know about how AI is progressing, conversation between builders and community is so important because it's really hard. As a builder, you really have to think through what the users are looking for, and AI is best utilized when you niche down to really specific use cases. And so, you doing that here with reporting it's fascinating. I mean, you can actually see how beneficial AI can be when it comes to just a really simple sort of small focused use case, which is generating reports. So having that connection with the community. If everyone who's listening, if you've got comments or questions after you dive into lazy admin and you're checking it out, which by the way, resource links in the comments. And if you're not on aiforcetraining.com/live, you can find the resources there plus more. So make sure you head over to do that. But as you do that, if you're finding challenges or you're seeing a use case that you prefer be developed within the app, make sure to reach out to Mustafa. I'm sure LinkedIn is a great place. Any other way that people should contact you?
Yeah, we have support email. It's all given in the app. If you want to check pricing, they can go to the lazyadmin.http.com for pricing. We have different packages for small companies, for big companies, and of course we have a free plan to try it out. So yeah, there are multiple ways they can reach out to us via email or LinkedIn, whatever.
Excellent. Well, yeah, really happy to have you on to show off what you've got going on here. I think reporting using AI is just such a great use case. We see so much coming out of Trailhead DX this year, and reports isn't one of them. So this is such a great thing to have for admins to be able to share within the organization as well. Yeah. So even if you're not an admin and you're watching, this is a tool that's going to help you a lot, save you a bunch of time. And if you are an admin, you can stop building so many reports. I mean, how many times do you log in and go to your reports to pull a report? And there's just so many reports there. And those one-off really quick reports that you don't necessarily need to build to be repeat reports, it's so nice just to use a tool like this to get that. And especially with AI, such a big deal. Can't wait to see the continued rollout, the continued changes. Yeah, any final thoughts for the group before we check out today?
So yeah, the good part is another good part is you like saving time from this side helps you focus more on the important stuff, which matters more. For example, selling more and serving more customers. That's it.
Yeah,
That's the
totally
bottom line.
agree. Yeah, that is the bottom line. It's all about time. I mean, and
Yeah.
this is a common theme right now from Salesforce. It's human in the loop, and what can AI augment for you? What can it assist you in doing? It doesn't have to actually take your job, right? We don't want AI to just do all the reports and just give us everything. I mean, ideally, maybe in the long run, yes. Once we have other things we want to work on, but in the meantime, it's to take away those automated things that we maybe don't want to spend time on, and we have available to use somewhere else. So, I think that's really well said. So we'll look forward to more of that. But Mustafa, thank you so much.
Thank
Make
you.
sure everyone go check out Lazy Admin. Use the links in the comments to get there and check it out. Get it in your sandbox or your dev org today. Just start trying it out, and I promise you, you're gonna love it. And thanks for coming on, and we'll talk again soon. I can't wait to see what else you roll out for the tool.
Thanks. See ya.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Make sure to subscribe below before you go and register for the next upcoming sessions. And I'll see you on the next one. Ciao.